KnowWhere takes on Washington State. That's right, we're heading to Washington State for my best friend Ellen's wedding. We were high school best friends, and now, guess what? She's in love. So this was the perfect opportunity to go and check it out. Now you may be saying, Debbie, isn't the Starbucks Reserve Roastery in Seattle shut down? Well, yes. This video was filmed over 6 months ago, so it takes a while to actually process all the videos, get everything edited in order for you guys to see. So let's just pretend that it's still open and start the trip from the beginning. Alright, let's have a little whimsy and let's start this over again. 6 months later. Anyway, we literally landed in Seattle, grabbed our bags, and came straight here. Because if you're flying into the coffee capital of the world, you absolutely cannot waste a second. Now, I have actually been to the Reserve Roastery before, so this was my second visit. However, it was so fun getting to stop in, check it out, and see all the things that make Seattle so special, especially when it comes to Starbucks. There's just something special about walking into this place. The smell of fresh roasted beans, the giant copper casks, the energy, and the rich history of downtown Seattle. I'm so glad I actually got to take my mom to enjoy this experience right off the plane. RIP to an era, but I'm forever grateful that we got this caffeinated moment together and got to say goodbye. Say hi, Mom. What'd you get?
Smoked salmon cream cheese. Look at that.
Glorious.
And then we have butterfly matcha cake.
I got the prosciutto and parmesan. And then I got the new ube latte, and she got a matcha latte. We had a great time at the Reserve Roastery may have been our first stop, but that was not the destination. On to the next place, Whidbey Island. After getting caffeine in the city, we headed down to Mukilteo in order to ride the ferry over to the island. Now, it was absolutely gorgeous getting to this drive. And let me tell you, 2 hours in line for this ferry, finally we rolled out onto the boat. There's something just so magical about a ferry ride, especially to a beautiful island on the tip of Washington State. Seattle was the welcome, but Whidbey was the heart of the trip, especially where the wedding was going to be. And after that wait, pulling onto the island felt definitely earned. Whidbey Island was absolutely so beautiful, surrounded by Pacific waves. What a wonderful place to get married, and it was actually the place my best friend had grown up, so she was very familiar. This is the exact spot where she had planned to get married, so we were able to go down to the coast and just enjoy the waves before the ceremony. What a great way to celebrate, and what a great way to be welcomed right here in Washington. My friends just got married, and now we are sitting along the beach just listening to the Pacific water hitting. This is the Pacific, right? Mm-hmm. Watching the Pacific water. Pacific Northwest, yes. Just waiting, chilling, enjoying the water waves, and getting ready to go to the the reception. All right, thank you guys. Bye. We had an absolute blast at the wedding, and the reception was absolutely gorgeous. What a wonderful way to check out the island and, of course, enjoy some special memories being made with my best friend. Now, this wasn't our last stop, so before we left the island, we had to head on to our next stop, Coopville. We made it to Coopville. We are here at the scene where Practical Magic was filmed right here on Washington, Whidbey Island. This is absolutely so beautiful, and look at that. And apparently there's orcas everywhere, so we're gonna go try and see if we see anything. We probably won't, but it is still beautiful. This is Coopville, a tiny waterfront town on Whidbey Island that feels like it stepped out straight from a storybook. If it looks familiar, that's because, as I mentioned, this is the real-life filming location of Practical Magic. Yes, this charming harbor, the quiet streets, the misty island air, it's all right here. Coopville is actually one of the oldest towns in Washington, with historic buildings lining the waterfront and views that feel so unreal. You can walk the pier, grab a coffee, watch the boats drift by, go to an art gallery, and honestly, it just kind of feels like magic still lingers in the air. There's something about this place. It's so peaceful, it's a little mysterious, and absolutely completely timeless. Practical Magic may have been a movie, but Coopville is definitely the real deal. Tell me why I suddenly want to live in a creaky Victorian house with ocean views, light candles at midnight, and make midnight margaritas with my sisters? This is where they filmed all those dreamy harbor scenes, and you can actually do the full walk by getting a walking tour guide like I'm showing you right here. You can see all those dreamy harbor scenes, the slow walks by the water as fog is rolling in for these cozy coastal magic vibes. And honestly, I swear the second the breeze hit, you can start hearing "put the lime in the coconut" in your head. Anyway, Coopville isn't flashy, it's quiet, it's moody, and it's a little witchy in the best way. Before we headed off the island, we definitely had to stop and check out some more views. We're crossing Deception Pass back over, and we're on our way to Seattle. It is so beautiful here and getting to see everything. It's absolutely crazy crossing, and everything looks amazing. Deception Pass was absolutely gorgeous, however, also terrifying. The bridge is over 180 feet above the water, and when you're standing up there with the wind whipping around you, it definitely feels like it. The name Deception Pass actually comes from explorer George Vancouver, who thought Whidbey Island itself was a peninsula until he realized that he'd been deceived by the geography and that it was in fact an island. And the bridge itself was built in 1935 during the Great Depression and actually really changed the way that people traveled during this time. It connects Whidbey Island to the Falago Island, which is part of the Deception Pass State Park, which is one of the most visited parks in all of the United States, especially Washington. There were so many people pulled over on the side of the road just taking pictures, and walking across it was also scary, but so cool at the same time. One of the coolest experiences. We hit the road back to Seattle to spend our last night in the big city before we had to fly out the next morning. We are here at Pike Market shopping. We finally made it. There's so many beautiful flowers and vendors. Come along and shop with us. Pike Market is absolutely iconic and was a wonderful way to end our trip in Seattle. Now, before we left, we wanted to make sure and have one last dinner right by the water. We went to one of the most beautiful places, got some wonderful bites, and enjoyed the view as the sun set on Washington State. Until the next morning, we flew out straight back to Texas to DFW, leaving behind some wonderful memories of the waves, wedding, and Washington State. What a beautiful way to end our trip and make some memories that will last a lifetime. Thank you again, and congratulations to the happy couple, Ellen and Kevin. Cheers to you. Bye-bye now. Bye, Washington.